gracious me. Is this still filming? Oh my gosh, this is such a chaotic jam. Hey everyone, so I thought I would just interlude the video at this point. So I feel like a massive part of cottagecore is just your mindset and habits and things like that you do in a day that really shape the resounding backbone, I suppose, of the aesthetic. So I thought that I would talk about a few habits you can form, a few things you can do in your day, and just sort of the little things that you can do to contribute to the overall feeling. The first thing is daily nature excursion. Going for walks, to getting outside. Even if you live in the city, I think the essence of cottagecore is just appreciating everything around you. It's really about just being grateful, especially if you're in a position like I am where, you know, you have food, a home, loving family, etc. We're just so lucky, and so I feel like a massive part of it is just getting outside and appreciating everything that you have and just sort of taking a step back. The next thing is journaling. So I journal every day. I find it's a really great way just to download, get everything out of my mind that I've been thinking about during the day. And something that I've started recently that's been really great is I will write down 3 to 4 things each day that I really enjoyed doing. I try to make it small mundane things. For example, I had a really nice cup of tea and it was this flavor and it just was really lovely. You know, I'll write down that I enjoyed that. Or I went for a walk at this place, or I took the dogs out, or I went for a ride, horse riding at this place, or I did this. Or today I saw the most beautiful petunia. And I'll just write it down. I just really go back to that moment and appreciate it, and that's just really changed my mindset. I think the best thing about journaling is it really just allows you to get back into that mindset of being grateful for what you have, and it just gives you a really good chance at the end of the day to wind down, because a lot of cottagecore is about taking things a bit slower. It's really based off slow living and country living, and I am fortunate to live in the country, but for those of you who aren't, in the evenings, just sort of blocking out the rest of the world and just taking a moment for yourself can be really great. The next thing I would recommend is, if you can, every once in a while, try to travel out to the countryside. Traveling out to an area like that where you can just maybe shop locally or just stop to enjoy the scenery, you know, take yourself on a hike, that sort of thing can just be a really good way to connect back to nature, which again is what cottagecore is all about. Next, you can take up cottagecore hobbies, so things like, you know, sewing, gardening. I do horse riding and archery. Reading is another big one of mine, but you can do all sorts of different things. Baking, basically anything that sort of is just going back to the roots. The next thing, get up early and appreciate the sunrise, or if you're not a morning person, appreciate the sunset. Such a magnificent thing, and people just forget about it. So really just getting up early, even if you just do it one time, can be very rejuvenating. The next thing is, you know, go to bookstores, go to libraries, go to, you know, nice little cafes that are hidden away in a corner. Just go to those little special places and just embrace, you know, that slowing down again. Take in everything and just take a moment to yourself. That can be really healing, and it's obviously a really good cottagecore mindset to be in. I think the biggest thing just to remember with cottagecore is that cottagecore, it's all about appreciation. You don't have to be walking barefoot in a grass paddock or staring at cows or out in a forest to be in a cottagecore mindset. You know, cottagecore is all about being grateful for what you have, slow living, being able to just embrace what's around you and make the best of it. So if you can do that in the city, you are embracing the cottagecore mindset, because you're taking in what you have at hand and you're creating something beautiful out of it. And last but not least, this is sort of just a random thing, but I would highly recommend Netflix shows, YouTube videos, just each evening or morning if you prefer, taking a moment just to sort of watch something where it embraces the cottagecore aesthetic. Like Bridgerton's really good. I don't know what it is about Bridgerton for me, but just the surroundings and all of the forest scenes and everything, they're just beautiful. So I would highly recommend, you know, watching those, because it's a form of escapism. Same with reading books. You can escape into another reality. Speaking of books, that just reminded me, I have a few books here which I would highly recommend. Things like, you know, Jane Eyre, Anne of Green Gables. I had a few others, I will pop them in. I highly recommend checking these books out, because they really just allow you to escape into a cottagecore world, and that's what we're aiming for. That's the point of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, got some ideas. If you want any other videos specifically, just let me know. I hope you all have a fantastic day, evening, morning, afternoon, I will see you in the next one.